What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out F-16 drops 2,000-pound bomb on Taliban fighters. This is by Jeremiah. We've watched a couple of his videos in the past. This is going to be an interesting one. I will leave a link down below to the OG video. Make sure you go over there, give it a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Really, really important that you do that. I'm in my vest. I'm a bit burnt on my face. I just got back from the Bushcraft show, like a weekend festival with my kids over at the Bushcraft show, and it was phenomenal. It was so good. I went and got this as well, this obsidian arrowhead that was, there's a guy on YouTube called Will who does flint napping. He's amazing. I met him, and he had this obsidian one that I bought. So cool. It's a bit nerdy, but if you love bushcraft stuff, if you love the outdoors and you love like ancient techniques like flint napping and all that lot, it was just so good, and the kids loved it. So yeah, I'm a bit red. You can see the burn. Yeah, it's been hot this weekend in the UK. Anyway, before we get started, check out Chug. 10% off, link down below for the best drinking vessel in the world. Free customization, free bag, ships to America. Get one of these. The weather's been so hot. If you want to keep your beverage cold for a long time, this is how you do it. Buy once, cry once. This will last you a lifetime if you look after it. Go get them right now. 10% off, link down below. Also, let me pull it out of the fridge because I've been cooling it down. Go check out Morale, my new business. Our focus, I just read focus on the camera. Our focus is to get people outside as much as possible. That's it. That's the idea of the drink. That's the idea of the company. Is to just get people outside as much as possible. That's our goal. If you want to be a part of that, go follow the Instagram at Drink Morale. I'll also, this week, I don't know when, but it'll be this week, at some point, I will be posting the vlog of the Bushcraft show. And I hope you go watch it because I want to be doing more vlogs and I've been really enjoying it. So anyway, let's pull this up. Let's check this out and let's see what's going on.
On April 17th, 2017, a task force of U.S. Army Rangers were caught in one of the deadliest ambushes of the War on Terror. The Rangers were making their way through a small town in Afghanistan when they were ambushed by a massive force of Taliban fighters who had taken up positions in several different buildings on all sides of the Rangers' positions. The Rangers were now taking fire from all directions and from elevated positions. But thankfully, the Rangers weren't alone for long. Two F-16s and an AC-130 gunship were already in the air nearby, and
an AC-130 gunship? Oh my days.
Immediately responded to the Rangers' calls for help.
Boom.
The AC-130 gunship and both of the F-16s completely emptied all of their weapons.
Wow.
Leveling multiple buildings inside the town and killing numerous Taliban fighters.
Oh my God.
But the Rangers on the ground were still outmanned, outgunned, and running out of time. So the two F-16s and the AC-130 gunship quickly made their way back to base to get rearmed and refueled.
It's such a contrast watching this footage after watching Ukraine footage, which is so clear with GoPros. There's drone footage. It's in a wooded environment in farmland. And then you go back to watching this original footage that we would see back in the day of lads fighting Iraq and Afghanistan, and the contrast is insane, isn't it?
They could make their way back out to help the Rangers. Luckily for the Rangers, at a nearby base, two F-16 pilots, Craig Andrel and Adam Furman, were ready to come to their rescue. Ooh. The two pilots had been closely listening to the situation over the radio, anticipating that they might need to get involved as well. And when they heard that the AC-130 gunship had completely emptied all of its weapons, which is almost unheard of, they knew it was their time to get moving. F-16s are equipped with a high-tech communication system that directly links with the JTACs on the ground with the Rangers. And the JTACs can send essentially text messages to the pilot letting him know exactly which targets they need hit.
And that's all going to change as well with this new NGAD system that is going to have almost instant comms between everything on the battleground, whether that be in the air, whether that be vehicles on the ground, whether that be ships, whether that be drones, whether that be lads looking through the scopes of their rifles. This weird new communication system is just going to be everywhere.
They were on their way to the Rangers' position. Andrel and his F-16 received a message from one of the JTACs on the ground calling for the F-16's biggest bomb, a 2,000-pound JDAM, to flatten a multi-story building full of Taliban fighters.
Wow.
Normally, a pilot dropping bombs wants to see their target before releasing their weapons, both to confirm they have the right target and to be aware of what not to hit nearby, just to confirm that the JTAC and the pilot are talking about the same target. The last thing you want to do is drop a 2,000-pound JDAM on the wrong building. But in this specific situation, the Rangers were getting absolutely hammered from the target building, and Andrel didn't have time to do one pass by to make sure he was on the right target. So he just trusted the JTAC on the ground and dropped the bomb as soon as he went over the target. And
that can be dangerous because if comms go wrong or something like that, I could be sending it on the wrong place. But at the end of the day, these were, say they were Rangers at the start, so they know what they're doing. They're going to be professional, aren't they?
Within 8 minutes of taking off from the runway back at base, he had dropped his first JDAM on the target.
This time, about 15 seconds to impact.
Can you hear the metal wasps?
Oh shit. The rounds are hitting right in front of us.
Yeah.
And immediately he
Wow.
heard over the radio, good hits, good hits. The target building was completely flattened along with all the terrorists hiding inside.
Wow.
And from that point on, the F-16s just kept doing pass after pass after pass.
He's just stood there with his hands in his pockets, just watching them fly by in insane speeds, dropping these 2,000-pound bombs.
Dropping everything they had on the Taliban forces. Within minutes of arriving on target, both F-16s had dropped all of their bombs and were left with only their 20mm Vulcan cannon.
Only the 20mm. Isn't it insane to think what the war would have looked like if they didn't have air support? How many more lives would have died, would have been taken? Because it's so fundamental these days to have that ability to get these aircraft in the sky and help the lads on the ground so much. The support they have from these aircraft is invaluable, isn't it? Here he comes. Wow. I'm surprised.
Which they used to
I'm surprised the lads aren't like cheering and stuff as they go by, because you hear that sometimes, don't you?
strafe targets over and over and over again until their fuel began to run low. While on these types of missions, the F-16s refueled one at a time, one sprinting away to gas up from a nearby tanker, while the second stayed overhead to protect the Rangers.
Oh, so there's a
they
constant...
decided that Andrel would be the first to peel off and go refuel at a nearby tanker.
Yeah.
But while he was approaching the tanker, a thought occurred to him. Even with more gas, he'd have no more bombs to drop.
True.
But the spare F-16 back at base was fully loaded. So he quickly
Is he just going to go back, change aircraft, and go back out again? Because that's an insane take.
radioed back to base to make sure the spare jet was available. Thankfully,
Oh my
it
God.
was available and fully loaded. The spare F-16 back at base wasn't just any old F-16. It was the unit's flagship jet with a tiger stripe paint job. It represented the squadron and was parked in the first position on the flight line. The jet was assigned
So not only are you going back just to swap out aircraft because it's got more weapons on it and more ammunition, you're taking out like the pride and joy. Imagine being boots on the ground needing help and seeing that fly over and help you out. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
to the unit's crew chief and was mostly set aside for VIP tours and was always the cleanest, nicest of the jets on base.
Yeah.
But today, this
gotta be used.
F-16 was going to be put through the ringer. After landing, Andrel quickly switched over to the other F-16 and everyone rushed as fast as they could to get through all the safety checks before he could take off.
Wow.
On a normal day, a pilot who lands an F-16 might be ready to climb down from the cockpit 20 minutes after touching down.
Jeez.
While those heading out to fly generally step to the jet an hour before taking off.
These are all things that I'm completely unaware of, obviously, because it wasn't my specialty at all. But yeah, you're talking like an hour and 20 there to swap over aircraft. My bet is they wanted to get that done much quicker.
From touchdown to wheels up, Andrel was on the ground at Bagram base for just 39 minutes as
Wow.
Androl approached the target with his
So pretty much close to a third, well, more like half, is it just less than half the time to get it done. That's hats off to the crew members, not just him as a pilot, but all the other team getting things prepped and getting it done as soon as possible with all the safety checks.
new fully loaded tiger striped F-16, he received another message from the JTAC on the ground. This one was very similar to the first. The Taliban had dug in tight to another large building, and they wanted
Are we
the
gonna see it?
2,000-pound JDAM once again. And once again, without actually seeing the target for himself, Androl dropped the bomb on his first pass over the building.
Is this the footage? We're gonna see it?
Oh my God.
There's the cheering.
After dropping the
Whoa.
2,000-pound JDAM on the building, there were still a few Taliban fighters moving around within the rubble. So he passed by a second time, dropping a 500-pound JDAM on the same building. All was then finally quiet within the buildings of the town, but the Rangers were taking heavy fire from a nearby tree line. So the F-16s then dropped their remaining
This is gonna be one of the most insane stories I've heard from out in Afghan. I've not heard anything like this before. From the insaneness of the air crewmen, basically, to get this much rounds down this quickly is unheard of.
bombs on the tree line and started strafing with their 20mm cannons. Then suddenly the AC-130 gunship and the two F-16s from earlier returned to the target location, fully rearmed
Oh
and
my
refueled,
God.
relieving Androl and
A fully rearmed AC-130 back again. Oh my God. That's when you know, like, if you're playing a video game and you've got to get to a certain, you've got to defeat the boss before, like, one certain thing happens and they're fully recharged again. That was the Taliban right there. They're like, we need to win this battle before that AC-130 comes back, because if it comes back, we're done for. That's it. We're done. And then he just comes back out of nowhere, fully loaded.
When all was said and done, an AC-130 gunship completely emptied all of its ammunition. Two F-16s completely emptied all of its ammunition.
Oh my God.
Furman's F-16 completely emptied all of its ammunition, and Androl completely emptied two separate F-16s of all their ammunition.
Holy
That
crap.
is an unfathomable amount
Yeah.
of bombs.
How much money did that cost the US military industrial complex, that one firefight? How much money did that cost?
Being dropped on a single town. Needless to say, that was not a good day to be a Taliban fighter. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for checking out. Definitely go check out the Patreon link down in the description for more uncensored combat footage and uncensored versions of these YouTube videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Absolutely fantastic video right there. I will leave a link down below to the original video. Make sure you go over there, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff. That sold me on that channel. Absolutely fantastic bit of footage. Again, I will leave a link down below. Make sure you go over to their channel and give it a subscribe. All right, guys. Check out Chug, 10% off, link down below, and go check out Morale if you haven't already. Keep an eye out, turn on notifications, because we're going to have the vlog for the Bushcraft show from the weekend, and it was a ton of fun, and I can't wait for you to watch that because I want to be making more vlogs. My goal, by the way, by the end of the year, is to have more vlogs on this channel, like, per week than reaction videos. And so if that's something you're interested in, please let me know in the comment section down below. It would mean the world to me. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.